Hello, welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James. Today I'm joined by Matto Phillips. How's things, mate?
Great. Super.
Uh,
For
we've
both of us.
we've already
Holidays.
recorded the episode to go live while we're both off on our respective holidays. But as we record, you are hours away from travelling off to New Zealand, right?
Yes.
Which I
Wait.
didn't know when we
No,
recorded the
wait.
episode after.
Damn it. I forgot my green screen again so I can put my tropical background.
Oh.
Even though I'm not in the tropical area.
No,
Oh, Mordor. Yeah, there we go.
you could have just had the Eye of Sauron in the
Just check
background.
the depths of Mordor, or just the gift of we're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Guard. It's weird because we're referencing things that then I didn't know about properly until next week's episode because we've already recorded that one. So time's a weird thing. We're today discussing the Triple I initiative. It was a game showcase that popped up a couple days ago. There'd been plenty of kind of high profile indies that were getting a little bit noisy in the lead up to it. One of those included Hollow Knight, so naturally there was speculation Hollow Knight might arrive. Hollow Knight didn't arrive, unsurprisingly at this point, and so the nerds continue to cry.
Where's the Hollow Knight Studios?
They're in South Australia.
Well, go get your pickets and start picketing out the office. We want Hollow Knight 2.
Like after...
It'd be the most used in Adelaide for the entire year.
Yeah, no, nothing about Gather Round or
Unless...
that sort of crap.
What was that? What's that thing?
Yeah, never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
In the city of churches and Radelaide, I'm pretty sure they love being shiny, called that, it turns out.
And it's shiny big testicles that they have in the shopping plaza.
What?
They have like two big giant balls.
Fair enough.
Shiny balls, I should say. Not brass balls, just silver balls.
I don't know how to follow up with that, so I'm going to keep it on topic. The Triple I indie showcase there basically presented a whole bunch of different indies, mostly higher profile ones or from studios who've kind of got a bit of history behind them. Some things that I'm sure you knew about, other things that were kind of being introduced for the first time, other games with a bit more information being provided. We've got a full list here of everything. We've both checked out the showcase, but we've got a big full list here of everything, all sorted alphabetical order. We're just going to kind of rattle through the games fairly quickly, just with some kind of top level sort of impressions. We won't get too over the top about it because we don't have the time for something like that. Considering there must have been, well, there was,
a lot.
According to things, there's at least 30 plus games. So to give them the time each of them that they probably deserve, we'd be having a 2-hour show. So let's not do that. Let's start with 33 Immortals, which was a game that was introduced at the Xbox showcase, I think, last year. Some additional information there. There's going to be a beta that's going to run from the end of May to the beginning of June. But what are you thinking of 33 Immortals?
So far, not bad. It feels like very Hades-like, but sort of, a bit. There seems to be a lot of those games in this showcase very Hades-like. What do you call it? Roguelike?
Roguelikes, yeah. Roguelikes are the
very
big in vogue thing at the moment.
I think there was like 3 common styles of gaming in these indies. One of them was roguelike.
Yeah, look, I still can't get over the team responsible. They've done, like, every single game this is their 4th game now, and every single one of them has been drastically different. In fact, there's a gigantic tonal shift from their last game, which was, I've forgotten the name of it now, but you're like, you're on a boat and you're basically like helping souls. Spiritfarer. Spiritfarer was the game before.
I was just going to call it Boat Souls for a second.
It's
the
like
most uncreative name.
Totally Zen-like thing, but then they've had big Shadow of the Colossus style indie. Like it's every single game of theirs is different. Now they're going like 33 player online. So
4 games.
This is their 4th. Yeah.
In how many years?
10.
That's more than Naughty Dog.
Do you count remasters?
No.
Next up is Broken Roads, which I guess the weird one about this is it was kind of a launch trailer. The game's out now. We've had the opportunity to see it at PAX showcases plenty of times over the years. I had a review code by the time this showcase aired anyway, so it was kind of a weird one for me in that sense. But what are you thinking about Broken Roads, the trailer, some of the stuff that you've heard about it since the game's launched? Is it going to be for you?
What they got against Western Australia? That's my question. Do they think Western Australia is that backwards or something?
I mean, it is.
I feel like they're just taking
hello
a
to our
stab
West
at me.
Australian friends, but yeah.
You're 2 hours behind, so you're not going to see this. Sorry.
Yeah. And 30
Was it
years.
3? No, it might be 3 now.
Oh yeah, daylight
Daylight
savings. Yeah,
savings is
I think it's
over,
3 hours or something now. Yeah.
so you're way off.
Look,
You just missed out.
the West Australians, yeah, I guess they got the most amount of nothing in their states, so it's maybe a good setting for a whole bunch of people kind of
Yes.
warring over turf and those sort of things in a post-apocalyptic setting in Australia. So makes a bit of sense. But the game's got some bugs, kind of serious ones in a few instances, and it's really kind of tanked the review scores a fair bit because people have been having all sorts of performance issues. The core of the game is good, so if you've seen footage of the game, if you saw this launch trailer and you liked it, maybe just keep an eye on it. Maybe wishlist it, put it in your favorites or whatever, and keep an eye on it. And as the bugs start to get squashed and they really get on top of this thing, it might become more and more of a valid purchase for people anyway. But that's that one. Brotato,
Rotato.
what do you think?
Cult of the Lambs. That's what I looked at with ukuleles for some reason.
It's just like
Co-op.
it's kind of got There's Cult of the Lammy sort of visuals to an extent, nowhere near as good, but like they're going for that sort of style. But then I see a whole bunch of and it comes up later in the showcase anyway. But Vampire Survivors in terms of that really arcadey bullet hell. There's like hundreds of enemies coming at you at any given moment. I wasn't even familiar with it, but apparently like they're announcing the Abyssal Terrors DLC and local co-op. It's an update, so the game must be out now already.
Really? Or they just go all at once? Just go, you know what? Here's the game, here's the DLC, and play 4-player at the same time.
No, it
running
came out in June 2023, so it's out now.
Oh, well, there you go. Shadow drop.
What about Cat Quest 3?
No idea.
Which did have a different name in the past, but I think they realised that maybe that long subtitle wasn't the best of ideas. I kind of ignored the first two games when they came out because, okay, cool, it'd be gimmicky bullshit or whatever. But when the first trailer got revealed for that game, and I think Jeff Keighley maybe announced it last year, I was kind of into it. It's like low-level RPG, pretty accessible in that sense, but also seemed to have like at least a fun personality about it. This trailer kind of continued to highlight that a little bit. I don't think we have a date or anything yet. I'm still pretty sure that it was meant to be coming out this year. But I don't mind it. You're not so sure?
No. Even when I didn't even know there was 2 more Cat Quest games for it. But also, too, it didn't really show much either except for a pirate ship and some cats with pirate hats.
That's fair. Did you have any thoughts on Cataclysmo?
Not really.
Coming to PC July 16th. Comes from the creators of Moonlighter and The Mage Seeker, which is a League of Legends spin-off. Moonlighter was an amazing little roguelike, funnily enough. You'd basically be running some shop during the day, but then at night you would head into these dungeons, collect a whole kind of do the typical roguelike thing where you're navigating deeper and deeper and deeper through it. But with each passing day, with each night that passes, you would then do that, collect all your resources, bring it back to your shop, where you then sell all the stuff that you've earned, which would help fuel the upgrades and all those sort of things that you would normally go through in a roguelike, which then helps you to push further with your next run. And it was a really good little loop. This seems to be more of like an RTS, which was a bit of a trend throughout the entire showcase. These real-time strategy games popping up left, right, and center. But I didn't mind it, but I don't know if that genre is not really for me. So, any other thoughts on Cataclysmo?
No.
Darkest Dungeon 2 has been out for a while already, and there's a free update coming, the Kingdoms update. It didn't really, as someone who... And I got sent the press release a few days before the showcase, so I knew this one was coming, and I was trying to read through it, and this just doesn't make sense to me, not because it's rubbish, it's just because I haven't played Darkest Dungeon, so I don't really have the context for how it's supposed to work. It's a standalone campaign game mode, but I don't... That's about all I understand of it, so... are you into Darkest Dungeon at all, though? Have you tried Darkest Dungeon? Are you interested in Darkest Dungeon 2?
No.
Hasn't come to console yet.
All no's to those questions.
I knew the game was going to be there because I'd been tipped off that there was going to be news coming before I was then told what the news was. But I was really hoping it was going to be a console reveal. That still hasn't happened, so I'll keep waiting then. Next game is called Death Must Die. Very original naming.
Yes, creative. Absolutely
First
creative.
big content update with the Act 2 patch. So this is very much like an early access sort of thing, and like basically launching the second chapter of the game. Again, it's got those same bullet hell sort of, just swarmed by hundreds of enemies, just like Vampire Survivors again, which is, rapidly kind of becoming a bit of a thing again, thanks to Vampire Survivors. But I wasn't crazy about this.
I was there. I just looked at it and went, it's another Hades looking game with the way the dialogue is sort of shown. It's
there's definitely presentational stuff that kind of has that feeling. April 20 is when the Act 2 launches, so that's a week away. But yeah, I wasn't crazy about what they showed then. Yeah, I'm like, there's obviously some visual Hades sort of stuff, but in terms of that moment to moment, it's very much like Vampire Survivors, and I'm just not into that sort of game. It stresses me out too much. What about Dino Lords?
it goes two ways for me. I'll look at it and go, this is the stupidest game I've ever seen, or this is the greatest game that I've ever seen. Because who doesn't want a giant T-Rex dinosaur just randomly come into an area that makes where it doesn't fit in? You just look at it and go, oh, it looks like the 1800s. Oh, look, here's a dinosaur to put in there just because why not?
Yeah, I was kind of, sweet, we're getting like an Age of Empires like RTS, and then boom, dinosaurs.
Dinosaur. I mean, who can prove that dinosaurs weren't in around that time?
Who can prove it? No one alive.
Books are lies.
Yeah.
Harry Potter, not real.
The next game is the Dyson Sphere program, which I don't really remember. I'm having to kind of watch the trailer back now.
It's not about vacuum cleaners.
Not about vacuum cleaners, for anyone who's confused by what a Dyson Sphere is.
How can anyone not know what a Dyson is? That's all people use these
Dyson
days.
versus a Dyson Sphere, though. Dyson Sphere is a totally different thing.
Oh dear. What have I done?
Hypothetical megastructure that encompasses a star and captures a large percentage of its solar power output. It's a very sciencey thing. But yeah, there's a game that kind of
leveraging the concept. Is it cordless? If it's not cordless,
it would be. Yes,
Dyson wins.
It would be. The game though honestly doesn't tell us a lot. It was mostly
cartoons.
Yeah,
Doom guy look-alike.
Very minimal gameplay. It felt like it belonged in an Xbox conference, to be honest.
I was going to say a PlayStation showcase.
Well, yeah.
Of 2023, I should say.
Let's see, because we've both got holidays coming up, but sometime afterwards, it sounds like, shortly afterwards, it sounds like there's going to be a showcase, so we might have something to discuss fairly soon.
Ooh.
End Zone 2. Not the end zone in a rugby or NFL game or anything like that. Looks like it's a post-apocalyptic, again, RTS of sorts. Hard to get a total read, but there's certainly got those RTS sort of qualities. Did it do anything for you at all?
A little bit. It felt a little bit Command & Conquer like, and I thought, I haven't played a Command & Conquer game for a while. This definitely isn't Command & Conquer. If I want to play Command & Conquer, I just play Command & Conquer. But it has that style of, just salvaging parts to build a bridge. And some other stuff.
Yeah.
No dinosaurs.
Early access is summer, or sorry, I guess our winter 2024. So people get to kind of see and go hands-on with it properly somewhat soon. This is one that I'm definitely keen on, and I think Xbox in particular has done a good job of showcasing this one. I think they've got a little bit of partnership going with the team. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. What'd you think?
I didn't mind it. I did like the guy presented his music styles to the game. I thought, I like this guy. You know why? You don't want to know why? He has good parents because they let him play video games when he was younger.
That's important. It's good for you.
That's important. You stupid Oscar-winning parents. Terrible parenting, I should say. Horrible. Not the person's fault. Don't even know his name is. That's our little cow have. But parents, terrible parents.
I mean, look, I liked the trailer for what it was. But as someone who's been kind of looking forward to seeing more of this game for a while, the fact that it kind of focused so heavily on the music and wasn't more just about like here's another trailer. Here's gameplay. Here's the video gaming aspects. Was a little bit disappointing. But winter 2024 for us here in the Southern Hemisphere, that's good news. Hopefully that means that there's another trailer coming kind of soon. Gestalt, Steam, and Cinder. What'd you think?
I like the style. Gameplay, maybe? Not sure. It's for some reason I thought it was, what was it, that Gumbrella for a second? I don't know why. Not Gumbrella.
Because her hat is large, like the top of an umbrella.
Yes.
That's about all I got.
And there was a bar in there too, and I remember there was a bar in Gumbrella. That's the only resemblance I got.
I mean, I liked it. Metroidvanias are cool. This is one of the games in particular. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm definitely going to kind of watch this space. So, it's only a month away, May 22nd on Steam specifically. So I guess I'll be waiting a little bit longer because I'll want to play it on console, and I don't have a Steam Deck, so I'm not going to have that console experience or handheld.
Can you get those yet? Can you get a Steam Deck yet in Australia? Or
yeah, there's heaps of retailers now that stock them. Amazon,
oh, really?
There's a bunch of them. Yeah.
Well, Amazon, that's not a retail.
I mean, there's still a retail. But yeah, but there's plenty of others. I think even like Big W, like you can buy a lot of them online from a lot of Australian retailers now.
Big W.
Like I don't think you're seeing them on shelves, but I'm gonna check this now. Steam Deck Australia.
Where the hell did Big W get them from?
Yep, Big W sells them.
What?
Yeah.
That is mind blowing.
They're selling the 1 terabyte edition now for $1,400, which does probably price wise, but.
I'll say that's probably as much as what everything is worth in Big W.
Yeah, probably.
That's most expensive thing in that place.
The 64 gig one is $745. 256 is.
Wait, did you say 64? So 1 terabyte is 1,400. 64 gig is 700.
So you're basically paying for 940 odd gigabytes and an extra $700.
Makes no sense.
It looks like that was the OLED model.
I see.
So the biggest capacity of the normal Steam Deck is 512 gig, and that's $945. Oh, $899 at the moment.
Oh, it's on sale.
It's on sale. Oh, geez, it's starting to creep into viable territory, but not just yet. We'll wait. Anyway, yeah, that's Gestalt. I'm pretty keen to play it when the time comes, but yeah, I won't be rushing to play it on PC. A game that I am rushing to play though, Hyper Light Breaker. What'd you think?
Okay.
Did you play Hyper Light Drifter at all back in the day?
No, I don't think I did.
Did you check out Solar Ash, which was kind of a launch game in that for the PS5?
Yeah, I didn't check it out. It was one of those things I never got around to. I know the game you're talking about.
Yep.
I just never got around to actually playing Solar Ash.
Same developers. Hyper Light Drifter was like totally 2D. I think with their experience from Solar Ash, they've gone, okay, I think we can do the whole Hyperlight thing. We can return to that, but take it to 3D. And it seems like it works pretty well. A few people that went hands-on with it a couple months back that I've kind of listened to have all spoken pretty positively. More details on Hyperlight Breaker will be revealed in the coming months as the game gets closer to its early access launch. So again, it's probably PC, which means I'll be waiting a little bit longer again, but I could deal.
Well, the Steam Deck might be on sale, so it might be a chance.
I might say $50, at which point go for it. Kill Night, coming 2024. Enter if you dare, Night, and revel in the carnage. Ultra responsive, arcade-inspired isometric action shooter. So, what'd you think about this one?
Just vampire survivor with guns. That's all I can put it down to.
Again, it does have that kind of that Vampire Survivors sort of quality. This one was far more appealing to me, though. I think like if there was a game in that little sort of subgenre that's popping up that I'd be into, I feel like it might be this one. I really liked the visuals of the whole thing and stylistically the way they were kind of presenting it. And it doesn't seem like they're throwing hundreds of enemies at you, but you'll get swarmed, but not like in some ridiculous excessive way. More like in Diablo when you get a bunch of little attackers come all charging at you at once. That's still manageable, despite the number of them. Yeah, I think I could probably jump into this one. So we'll wait and see sometime later this year, but whatever. Laysara Summit Kingdom, another RTS. Any thoughts?
I think this was getting to the point where I was starting to get sick of RTS games. I thought, here's another one
Yeah,
and
they
another
positioned
one.
this one poorly because I reckon this was probably the best of them. But I was a bit like you. I was kind of over all the RTSs and the city builders and all that sort of stuff. But this is probably the best one of the lot. And as much as it's kind of just a bit of a gimmick, the idea that you were kind of building it right on top of like mountain peaks, and you could then build bridges that would connect portions of like two different peaks together, and people would traverse it. Like in terms of what strategy that could kind of, it's apparently out now in early access on Steam, but what that could potentially unlock strategically for the way people play, I think could be really cool. How you can use those bridges to connect up the different peaks in different ways and whatnot. But yeah, it was one too many, one too many RTSs, and it was right at the very end. So that didn't help. A game that, especially as a teacher, I have no interest in. Let's School.
The Sims.
Beloved school management sim heading to consoles. I didn't realize there was a beloved school management sim, but I want nothing to do with it. So I think it triggers me a little bit too much. I assume you've got no interest either.
No, I just looked around. It's The Sims. I'll just go play The Sims.
Yeah, it is very much a Sims or 2 Point Hospital, 2 Point Campus style thing. Now I say that, and like I really enjoyed 2 Point Campus, but that's because
That's not school.
it wasn't really school. It was all about you're building potions classes, and you're building like it's just crazy loose, way off topic, and definitely not the Australian curriculum stuff. That's for sure. So yeah, this is a little bit too close to home for me, and I want nothing to do with it. Next game.
So you don't want, so you don't want to do like a Dwight Schrute sort of situation,
No.
where you just in real life a school teacher, and in your make believe life you're just a school teacher, but you can fly.
No,
No?
couldn't imagine doing anything worse. The next game is a pretty cool one that's gotten a lot of buzz even prior to this showcase. Mouse. What do you think?
I'm in.
Yeah.
Just
had you seen this one before?
I think I saw parts of it when the Steamboat Willie copyright got lifted, and then pretty much I think it was, I don't know, the same day or the day after, this trailer just randomly popped up somewhere, and I looked at it and went, I'm buying that when it comes out.
It looks
There's nothing
unreal.
I like. I mean, it's better action than any Disney movie could ever do with Steamboat Willie or Mickey Mouse, whatever you want to call it.
And yet it's not some of the same kind of disgusting sort of stuff that we're seeing from some of these other adaptations of Disney licenses
Was
that
there
are
a
coming
horror
out.
one?
Well, there's some horror Mickey Mouse thing.
But there's two Winnie the Pooh.
There's the Winnie the Pooh one, which
there's two of them.
one of them I know the people responsible for it, and I've told them I'm not crazy about the idea, but I'm sure it'll still be good. They're very talented developers, so I'm sure it'll be a good game. I'm just not crazy about it because I don't think we needed to make horror out of Disney IP. But anyway, My Time at Sandrock is a game that came out last year. They announced cross-platform co-op multiplayer coming to PC and consoles in a few months. Any interest at all?
No.
No.
Anything that involves farming, I'll just go no.
I mean, look, I don't mind those sorts of games, but My Time at Sandrock was fine. I wasn't crazy about it. Online co-op and multiplayer, like that's not gonna float my boat. Never Alone 2 did float my boat though. As someone who played the original game that launched in 2014, you're nodding away as well. What do you think?
I never played it. I just looked at it and went, oh, this feels like Journey. I like it.
What's the? I'm trying to think of a good comparison. Yeah, look, Journey's not necessarily a bad one to compare. It was very much a case, and like you've seen it, there's the little girl and the fox, the Arctic fox, and they would just kind of navigate. It was a 2D side-scrolling platformer. It looks like they're invites players to expand and embark on a cooperative journey in an expanded 3D world with an original story. It was all about like Alaskan tribes, like native tribes and those sort of things. So
I think I do remember that.
yeah, but it's like 10 years old now. I was stunned. I was looking at it going, is this like a remaster of Never Alone? Like it's been 10 years, so my memory's getting a little bit hazy. But it was a PS4 game, so I'm like, is this a remaster? Surely not. It's not that old, and I don't know if it was necessarily ever that popular. But no, it's a sequel out of nowhere. So I'm all about it. Whenever that time comes, I'm all about it. It was one of the first games that myself and then girlfriend, now wife, kind of sat down and played together. So, um, keen to do it again. Norland. Any thoughts on this one? Just seeing the name doesn't like ring any bells at all.
Or was it no and
Again, you kind of town building
or no land, no
and
rand,
then sending them off to war. Early access May 16.
no,
Norland.
no land.
Hooded Horse announces the early access release date for Norland, the medieval kingdom sim where players manage a budding noble family, navigating them through the trials of a harsh, class-based society. Because the modern world isn't class-based either. Anyway, yeah, I have no thoughts really on that one. Any different for you?
Either.
Yeah, you got
no, absolutely nothing.
Old World, for some reason, the link I'm looking at here doesn't have a trailer. I'm sure there would have been a trailer in there, but the Behind the Throne DLC announced coming next month. The Hooded Horse announces the latest DLC for Mohawk Games is 4X historical strategy epic Old World. Yeah, no interest. I'll go and I'll double check the trailer since I'm already hitting up their links just to see what it was all about. But I'm betting money on the fact that it is again.
I didn't even realize that there was one there. I just skipped and went to the video afterwards.
It does have some. Yeah, I mean it's that 4X. It does have like some civilization qualities, and it looks kind of nice. But there's also that one. I forgot the name of it now, but it's coming from Xbox. It was one of the games that was in their developer _ direct from earlier in the year. It's kind of the odd one out, really. Cause it
okay.
But
was that the guy going to the fridge? Was that?
Yeah, it's the guy. Yeah, that team.
I can't remember. Okay.
Like that holds more appeal than Old World. But looking at Old World, I'm like, yeah, it looks like a solid game. But I think I'm more likely to commit my time to this one that Xbox is making. So we'll move on. Pal World. The world's said enough about Pal World already, but there's the Pal Arena that's coming. Battle against other players, pitting yourself and your pals against them. It's PvP. I'll play Pal World when it comes to PlayStation, but I will not be playing PvP. So this particular update doesn't faze me in the slightest. I should play it on Xbox, really. It's free on Game Pass, but I'm in no hurry at the moment. Any thoughts on Pal World? We haven't really discussed it because you haven't played it either, have you?
I played a little bit of it, but not much.
Yeah.
I just never really cared about it.
The Pokey clone.
Yes.
Well, then next up is Raven's Watch. The Fall of Avalon update, unveiled exclusively by Nacon and Past Tech Games at the III Initiative. It's a third chapter of Raven's Watch. Arrives April 22nd of 2024. Again, another game that's seemingly not in early access, but they're adding story onto it afterwards. So it's discover the final chapter. Gameplay-wise, it does speak to me a bit, though. There you go. The trailer does say early access. You've dodged a bullet there, guys. Well done. But it does have that kind of top... It feels far more Diablo in kind of the way you're exploring the world. It's not waves and waves of enemies like a... Well, we keep discussing Vampire Survivors before we even get into Vampire Survivors. It's not that. It is that more traditional sort of top-down isometric exploratory thing like a Diablo. I could probably get into this. But again, I think I'd want to see a console release, just because of where I prefer to play my games. I don't want to be doing that with a mouse and keyboard. Risk of Rain 2, I think, was the game that actually begun the showcase. It does have the hero, whatever, of Dead Cells. So it's some DLC. Gearbox is kind of collaborating with the team. So it's still Risk of Rain 2. I know Damo's a big fan of at least the original Risk of Rain, but I think he was a big fan of Risk of Rain 2. I think he discussed it a couple times in some of our updates episodes. Coming soon for all players on all platforms. The prisoner joins the ranks of survivors as a free alt skin for the mercenary. Look, I like everything I see of Dead Cells. I still haven't played Dead Cells. I haven't tried Risk of Rain. I'm in no hurry to, and I don't think the prisoner from Dead Cells is going to get me to play Risk of Rain any faster. But any different thoughts for you? Have you tried Risk of Rain before?
I haven't played it yet, but yet again, I haven't played Dead Cells either, or Dead Cell. Doesn't really interest me that much.
Next up is and we kind of got a bit of time with a developer talking at us for a chunk of this before the trailer popped up. The name annoys me. RKGK. I don't know if that's meant to Rukuk. No. No, I don't know. I don't know what you could pronounce that as. It annoys me in the same way that that I don't even know what it's actually meant to stand for. Oh no, actually, sorry, it's meant to be called Ruby, but it was like that old. I think it was a Rooster Teeth show.
Oh yeah.
RWBY. I'm like Ruby, and apparently it's just called Ruby, and it annoyed the hell out of me. And the naming convention of this annoys me in the same way. But like anime-inspired, action-packed graffiti platformer. Like it looks kind of cool. But and sorry, just like our old mate Chorves.
Chorves.
The name, like you gotta come up with better names for your games. It's not memorable. Chorves was at least memorable because it was derivative of a core word and it was actually pronounced chorus, so like you could remember it.
No, call it chorus. Maybe it's a typo.
Ruguk. Moving right along. Shadows of Doubt, which I feel like I've seen at some point, but the award-winning immersive detective sim is coming out of early access and to PlayStation and Xbox in 2024. Does it appeal to you? Does it feel like a game you might play?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I'm just looking at it now. It is the old criminal detective work of pixelated detective man.
The voxel art style, like a Minecraft or a Teardown or something like that.
Yes, no building whatsoever, none. Yeah, I could probably get into it. It just depends how it plays.
Look, I'm not crazy about immersive sims, as a rule, so that might put me off a little bit. But otherwise, it does look pretty cool. Any other thoughts though on the game?
No.
We'll just have to wait and see. Slay the Spire 2 was also right there at the beginning of the showcase. Lots of people love Slay the Spire. I think PlayStation made it available as a free month giveaway recently, and the popularity exploded even further. And now it's going into early access. The sequel, is going into early access sometime next year. I don't really know anything about Slay the Spire because I haven't tried it. So the fact that we got basically a cinematic trailer, like an anime trailer, no gameplay at all, means that I am no further educated than I was before, and that might be a barrier for me at the moment. This was a good opportunity to put it right there and tell me what this thing was, and maybe tempt me to go check out the original, but that didn't work. So, good call, guys. Streets of Rogue 2. What are you thinking?
The old days of Grand
Classic
Theft Auto.
GTA, yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. I thought, man, I'm looking for a old school GTA game where you just drive around and just do whatever the hell you want and not get criticized for it by politicians that don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. I don't mind this. I didn't realize there was a Streets of Rogue to begin with. It might be awful. But I'm all about what they were showing with this. I think it could be a lot of fun, and apparently it's Steam Early Access later this year. So, again, the Early Access model just continues to explode, but this looks pretty cool. Could have a bit of fun with it. Don't need to say a lot about the next one. Tchia, which was a PlayStation exclusive last year. It got a Switch version. It's coming in June. Did you play Tchia at all? Oh, actually, I think we discussed it on an updates episode, yeah.
Yes, it's where you can just become a coconut, a crab, a rock, and some other stuff. But it didn't necessarily excite me. It just felt like a really bad... I wouldn't say bad. That's not the nicest word to say. It just felt like Zelda, but it wasn't Zelda.
Yep.
That's really it.
I scrolled away for a moment there, bringing it back. A game called The Last Spell. Again, wasn't this very RTS-y, if I remember?
Yes.
Not quite. Again, there's kind of some of those Diablo qualities. It shows kind of the lack of originality with some developers these days. That like the games are so derivative, and I don't mean that in the heart, like to be horrible about the whole thing. But obviously, we kind of start seeing the same things when they're all thrust into one big showcase like this, and there's 40 of them, and you're seeing them all in the space of about 40 minutes. So you're seeing like minute splashes, and they all feel the same because of it.
You see 7 different Vampire Survivor games, and you forget that Vampire Survivor was also there.
Is also there as well. Yeah, The Last Battle, Dwarves of Runenberg, April 24th, so it's out next week on Steam. I don't know. Like, I mean, it doesn't look awful. That's like, it looks like a pretty good game, but again, just so much like all the others, makes it a bit hard to get a bit of a read. Almost better to just wait for them to come out and see what people think at that point. We've spoken a lot about roguelikes. Prince of Persia's going roguelike. We've already had one game come out this year. In the same week as this one being revealed, we continue to hear of the troubles of the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. But they're not waiting for anyone, because we've got a roguelike game coming as well. And it comes from Evil Empire, which is a team that worked on Dead Cells. So specifically the post-launch content, so they're not the core Dead Cells team. They were working on something else, and it actually seemed pretty cool. Motion Twin new game, I can't think of what it was, but Windblown, which was one of those games that actually surfaced before the showcase and made me think it was going to be in this. But like, it looks pretty cool. What did you think of Prince of Persia?
I like the style. It's quite nice. For a second, I was like, Prince of Persia. I was like, I thought that we've already had a Prince of Persia game. I mean, Ubisoft throwing two Prince of Persia games out in the same year. What the hell's going on?
And they're launching it. It's Ubisoft, or like at the end of the day, it's Ubisoft, and they're still launching into early access anyway, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And early access May 14. They're having 2 Prince of Persia games come out in the space of 6 months, after giving us nothing for 15 years since 2008.
And still trying to figure out how to remaster or remake the first one, which still can't get right.
Sands of Time, yeah.
And they still can't get right, which is ridiculous.
Look, I liked it. The art style kind of, it gave me like Asterix vibes, you know, like the old comic, French-made comic that we would have had available in like our school libraries, for example, when we were school age. Do you remember Asterix and Obelix?
No, I do not.
Google them quickly. I think as soon as you see pictures like Asterix and Obelix, I can't remember his name.
Here we go. I have a movie. I know what the movie. Here we go.
I'm sure if you just look at pictures, you'll recognise them. They're like 2 little Vikings.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, one's little, one's a big fat bloke.
Yeah. What's the small guy's name? I swear.
Asterix is the little one. Obelisk is the big one.
Yes. I do that.
Like, it evokes a little bit of that with the kind of the way it's styled, and I like that. I'm keen to see more of it. Undermine 2. Did you have any thoughts on this one? Because Undermine, I've tried, and it wasn't a bad game at all, actually. I wish I could have given it more time. Any thoughts on the game at all?
No, it looks good. It's a nice looking, fast paced game. Yeah. Not your Vampire Survivor type.
No.
Thank God.
Just like a dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
Roguelike
I'm up again. For that. Yes. I am all for that. Just a Zelda lookalike.
The 2 characters smacking the bomb back and forth until it eventually exploded was a bit dumb, but like, whatever.
Some bomb tennis, as we all like to do. But yeah, I'm all for it. Whenever it comes out. If it has a date. Oops.
Yeah, I don't remember it. Just wishlist now, so yeah, no date yet. V Rising was there, which is a game that's coming to PC soon, and PlayStation's already announced with one of their State of Plays earlier in the year it's going to come to PlayStation later on this year as well. And it does look pretty damn good, actually. They're collaborating with Konami to put some Castlevania content in there. What do you think of V Rising, but also the Castlevania stuff that they were putting in there?
It looks nice. I don't necessarily know if it's the type of game that I would play, but I've been wrong before. I might like it.
As have we all, yeah.
You never know. So I'm not saying no.
But you're not saying providing the most committed guesses either.
I'm not saying
Simon Belmont on sometime later this year. So, well, May, and then later this year for console. Look, I think it's cool. It's nice seeing, and we'll talk about them again shortly, but it's nice seeing Konami kind of partnering with other developers. They've been doing that a bit with some of the indies that Dead Cells had its crossover. We've seen this. We've got some more stuff coming up shortly. Actually, sorry, with the very next game.
So
Vampire
it's nice.
Survivors, which is
Nice to see Konami actually collaborating with the game developers instead of actors
yeah,
and Jeff Keighley.
and yeah, I'm dubious about what's going on with Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid Delta as well. So the indies are doing the heavy lifting when it comes to their IP at the moment. Hopefully that continues to work. Vampire Survivors was the other one. It's got a Contra expansion that's coming on May 9th, and PlayStation is the only console platform that it hadn't come to, and they announced that it's going to finally come to PlayStation as well. So Phil Spencer has tried his hardest to keep it away from the biggest console gaming audience there is, and he's failed to do so any longer. It's coming to PlayStation. Thoughts on Vampire Survivors? Because we've done a lot of Vampire Survivors talk already, just by chance.
I've had enough. I've had enough of Vampire Survivor-like games, and then we get the Vampire Survivor, and I just gave up. I was like,
Don't care anymore.
Don't care.
Well, next, let's go to a game that's absolutely not a Vampire Survivors like What the Car. We've had What the Golf, we've had What the Bat, we've now got What the Car. And those other games have been pretty fun and dumb. Like, I've enjoyed them. What do you think of what you saw from What the Car?
What the hell am I watching? That was my first response. I thought, this is my. I mean, I've seen some stupid games. There was it Baby Steps?
Yeah,
That
Baby
was
Steps from
stupid.
Devolver. Yeah,
That was a stupid game. This, it just looks like Brum, a childhood car from our time.
oh
It
yeah,
just looks
bro.
like
Yeah,
looks like just Brum that's gone off the rails.
seriously off the rails.
After Child Star, one of those people.
There's an acid trip component to it, I think. Demo's available right now, apparently.
Too much, or it just looks like Homer Simpson, the front of the car.
Oh, I'll have to. Oh yeah, and the way it's just smashing food near the end of that trailer too.
Yeah.
It's coming to PC in September. There's a demo available right now. People can go check it out, see if it's for them. But it was one of my favorite games from this, just because it was a nice change of pace. If nothing else, it was different to everything else, which I enjoyed. And it's got its own, pretty loud and dumb personality, so I can get around it. We're on to the final game now. Wizard of Legend 2. Didn't know there was a Wizard of Legend. But what'd you think of what you saw of Wizard of Legend?
Same again. Nice, fast-paced type game. Then I remembered Vampire Survivor again. It's not as bad as Vampire
Yeah,
Survivor.
not as frantic, not as many enemies.
But co-op. There is co-op.
Is there?
Well,
Highly
I would hope
anticipated
so.
sequel to a beloved roguelike.
Why is there four? Why is there four people there?
Fans back.
I could be just making it up.
I mean, it just doesn't say in the little description here, but like the first Wizard of Legend may have been co-op as well, so they're just not emphasizing it with this. But or it might have already been clear that it wasn't. Yeah, it looks like there's certainly some kind of, whether it's bots or they do look player controlled. It does feel like it's a co-op experience, but
So it would look weird if they were just all bots and you just all looked the same. Matching clothing with just different colors. It seems a bit weird. Why would you have bots?
yeah, that's fair.
You don't need bots.
So, question without notice at the end here. What was your game of the show then?
Oh, Mouse. Mouse and Streets of Rogue 2.
Streets? Okay, yeah, sweet. For me, it's Gestalt, the Steam and Cinder, the Metroidvania from before. But closely followed by the likes of Flintlock and and Mouse for sure. There's some really good stuff that was in the showcase. A lot of other bloat, and I'll never not be disappointed that Hollow Knight wasn't there. But we'll move on. There's 500 other showcases that will come and go that will disappoint us when it comes to Hollow Knight, and I'll embrace every single one of them with hopes and dreams.
Imagine the PlayStation showcase just popped up.
It's gonna get stealth dropped one day, and I'm gonna be so traumatized because it'll be a showcase that happens at like 7 a.m. or something like that, and it'll be too late for me to take the day off.
No, it'll be around the time GTA 6 launches. It'll just get drowned out.
Oh, there's no way that's gonna get drowned out, but I mean, it will by GTA, but it won't struggle. I don't think there'll be a bad time to launch the game. There might be good and better times, but Anyway, enough Hollow Knight talk. Look, I don't think it wasn't a bad showing overall. It's just that they needed to find more games to kind of change things up. There was too many that were similar. It was kind of, I guess, my big concern.
I think there was like
half the number of games.
Yeah, I think 3/4 of the games were just either Vampire Survivor or your real time strategy
RTSs or
games.
Metroidvanias.
And and the other quarter were a good mix of from your mouse, whatever your favorite one was.
Yeah, guest
and
hold.
that.
Yeah, a couple of Metroidvanias, shooters, those sort of things. But yeah, there was a lot that kind of fit into 2 or 3 categories, which was a bit of a shame. They it's a good start. They probably could have halved the number of games, given more time then to the ones that they kept, and things might have felt a little more fresh. But instead, it just felt like it was this rapid fire clip where we were just seeing lots of games that looked the same, which was unfortunate.
It's just games. Get your games. It's like Doors Plus.
Yeah.
Get your doors.
Get your doors now.
Doors.
No need for Stephen K. Amos jokes right now. We'll move on from that.
That was my first thought. Yeah.
So we'll wrap things up there. We're both heading off on respective holidays by the time the next episode goes to air. So we've already recorded that one for you. You can go check that out next week.
I have longer hair, so don't get stressed out if you're watching.
So did I actually. I've gotten a haircut since, but I think I can't remember when I actually got it done.
Both had longer hair.
But we'll wrap that one up there. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons down below. A whole bunch of awesome content you find exclusively on the YouTube channel. Visit the website, player2.net.au, for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series, and more. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au, kicking a few bucks, lower tiers early access, higher tiers monthly episode exclusives. And finally, there's Twitter, Matto.
Matto_Phil. I think I also had a beard going into next week's episode
maybe.
too. Let's go freak people out.
This was a lot messier, I think, too.
Did anything change?
Well, I cleared up kind of the whole shared studio space, and there's a few things that have moved around a little bit since. I think I mentioned to you, and I don't think it was on camera last week, I'd lost the Starfield watch. I found the Starfield watch. The case was sitting here the whole time, but the watch was somewhere else. It was sitting in the center console in my car.
Don't tell collectors that. They'll be absolutely
it's gone now.
mortified.
It's gone now. It's not in.
It's like,
case.
What's this?
So,
watch.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching, Matto. Enjoy your holiday to New Zealand. We'll reconvene the next time we record an episode. It'll be our updates one for the month. Look forward to many games, I'm sure, being discussed still. It's been a big month for me already, and I don't know how you're tracking, but there's always plenty for us to discuss anyway. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the AAA Initiative Showcase, what some of your favourites were. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you later.